Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're making a wooden pot scraper. Well, for all my young hip viewers out there, let me just start off by saving you some time and letting you know that I'm not talking about pot, I'm talking about pots and pans. So if you are interested in the other type of pot, you may be on the wrong channel. Anyway, what it's all about is sometimes when you're cooking, some food gets really stuck on there and it's a real chore to get off. And you don't really want to use either abrasive cleaners or things like steel wool or SOS pads or that sort of thing. So what can you do? Well, for years my wife and I have used wooden pot scrapers, and they are absolutely wonderful. A great way to use up scrap stock and a great way to clean your pots and pans without damaging them. So let's head over to the bench and I'll show you how to make your own. Well, these pot scrapers will eventually be 1/4 inch thick, and their dimensions will be 2 5/16 by 2 3/4. But they're kind of a pain in the neck to mark out. So I have a piece here, coincidentally, it is 2 3/4 by 2 5/16. And we need to mark out this piece here, which will end up serving as a template for us for our future pot scraper endeavors. Now, each corner of our scraper is cut or shaped to a different radius. Every pot has a different radius down in those corner edges. Every pot is different. Some are bigger, some are smaller. And you really want to make this as accommodating as you can. So let me just show you what we're going to do here. Starting at the top left corner, this is our 2 3/4 side. In the top left corner, we're going to start off with a 1/4 inch radius. And I'm just going to line it up right in the corner here. And we will draw that radius right there. Okay, now going clockwise now, our next radius is going to be 1/2 inch. So again, we can line up here our circle template. These circle templates are handy as all get up, guys. So if you get the chance to hit your local art supply store or even Amazon and pick yourself up one of these, they really are a great thing to use in the shop. But anyway, so we have our 1/2 inch radius drawn. Clockwise again, this next one, this is going to be a 3/4 inch radius. And the very last one in the last corner here is going to be a 1 1/4 inch radius. All right. And that, my friends, is all the layout and the marking that you need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the belt sander, and we are going to shape each one of these corners to the radiuses that I gave you. And what you end up with is this. And this is going to be our marking template. So you now want to choose the species that you're going to make your pot scrapers out of. I prefer a hardwood like maple or walnut, but I have found that cherry works really well too. So whatever scrap you have, you can use poplar, you can use walnut, maple, cherry, you can use mahogany. As long as it's natural wood, feel free to use it. I would stay away from plywoods, but solid natural wood, scraps. And what you want is 1/4 inch thick, and we're going to cut some pieces that are going to be matching our template here at 2 3/4 inches long and 2 5/16 inch wide. Well, I took a little trip over to the wood rack and I found some scrap cherry, and I have cut 8 pieces here, so we'll get 8 scrapers out of this. and they can be given as gifts or what have you. But we do have a little bit of prep to do here before we can use our template. And on each one, what we want to do is we want to draw a line in from each edge here at 1/2 inch in from the edge. And you'll understand that a little later when we get into the shaping of this. So there we go, 1/2 inch in all the way around. Just like that. And then we will do that again on the opposite side as well. And you're going to want to do that on each one of your pieces of cherry. Well, the next marking that I've put on here is not necessarily necessary, but what it is I've come in 3/32 of an inch from either side and drawn a line all the way around. That will be the final thickness of the edge of our pot scrapers. Once you start making these, after a while you won't even need to put those marks. You can just eyeball it and you will be just fine. But I'm just basically showing you how you can lay the marks out to give you some help from the beginning. So now with those lines marked out, all you want to do is line up your template here with your piece of stock, and we will trace out the different radius that we placed on our pot scraper. There we go. And what we can do now is take this over to the belt sander, and just like we did with our template, we will sand those radius so that they are up to the line and the proper dimensions. Okay, and once you get them shaped, now it's time to utilize those lines that we put on the end and those 1/2 inch lines. And what that is for is the taper that will be at the end of each edge of this pot scraper. So I'm going to put it here in a hand screw clamp. Do not try to hold this with your hands, guys. It's a very dangerous procedure to hold with your hands. But what I'm going to do is with this here in our hand screw clamp, I'm just going to bring it in, touch it to the belt here until I sand up to our line at 3/32 of an inch, and as well up to our 1/2 inch line here, giving us that taper. We will do that on all 4 edges all the way around on both sides, and then we can see what we've got at that point in time. And now with those tapers done all the way around, a little quick surface sanding on a piece of sandpaper mounted to some 3/4 inch MDF. And after you get that done, it just takes a quick little hand sanding around your edges here, and that would be it. Your pot scraper is done. And really all you need to do at this point is give it a coating with some cutting board coating, which is just a mixture of paraffin wax and mineral oil. I can post a link to my tutorial of that, and give it a coating, and it's ready to go as a safe pot scraper for getting off those stubborn bits off your pots and pans. And you'll find that once you get into a bit of a groove, it doesn't take long before you can pump these things out in very little time. And I'm telling you, it is well worth the venture to make some of these. So there you go, guys. Some pot scrapers. And there you have it. Wooden pot scrapers. Guys, you may think that this is just too simple for the show, or you may think it's a hokey idea. And I gotta be honest here. I had one of these given to us years ago, and that was the first thought in my mind. What the heck are we going to do with this? And that was until we tried it. And we realized, oh my gosh, this thing truly is useful. It's a 1/4 inch thick, tapered piece of wood that has 4 different radius on each corner. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, an inch, and 1/4. And you would be amazed how useful this thing is. If your family is like mine and enjoys camping trips and living in tents for that week or however long you go, you know that one of the challenges of going camping in tents is washing dishes and getting them clean. And I'm telling you, this thing is great. Especially if you're cooking on an open fire, you got a tendency to burn some stuff sometimes. And these scrapers are the way to go. They are environmentally friendly. Even if you lose one in the woods, it's a piece of wood. It will rot. It will deteriorate rather quickly. It takes up no room to make 10 of them and throw them in your camping gear. It is actually one of the more useful things I think I've ever seen. And I'm telling you, it's a great way to use up scrap. It's a great gift idea. And if you got like half an hour to kill in the shop, bang a couple off. What else you got to do? If you're in between glue ups, make a couple. It's just some way to pass the time, but you end up with a very useful item. I'm actually amazed at how useful these things are. So don't discount it as a simple project. Think of it as, you know what, maybe I'll give it a try and I'll see how it works before I say how simple and useless it is. Guys, I won't say this has been fun. It was marking some radius on a piece of wood and sanding. But every moment in the shop is worthwhile as long as you get something out of it. And what I've got is a new set of 8 scrapers to throw in my camping gear. And that works for me. Maybe I'll give a few to my kids for their camping gear as well. Like I said, they make great gifts. If you haven't already, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that bell and then you won't miss the notifications of future episodes of the show. Simple or not, guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's content. I think what I might do on this is I'm going to make a pattern for the template. Make it even easier for you so you don't even have to bother if you don't have a circle template. You want that pattern, send me an email at acutabovewoodworking@hotmail.com. I'd be happy to send it your way. Make yourself some of these pot scrapers. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's show. I hope you're going to try it for yourself. I hope you're going to take advantage of that template pattern. And more importantly, I honestly hope that you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.